What is up? What is up, guys? I'm Shivam Pandey and you're watching the Techpreneurs. Welcome to the very first devlog of my very first platformer game. It is my very first experience for creating a platformer game, so let's get started. But before starting, please consider subscribing the channel. And now, let's jump into our platformer. So as I said, this was my first time creating any platformer or any kind of level game. Before this, I have only created games that are procedurally generated and that are mostly random. And so I have never encountered things like level design. So the main aim for this project was to get my hands dirty into some level designing process so that I could find what is fun, what is hard, what is difficult, what is frustrating, what is not so frustrating for players. And I think the best way of coming about this is to create a platformer game. And so the main target for me for this platformer game was just to create 20 playable levels. No extra mechanism, no added enemies, no other complexities, just a run and jump experience, and mainly focusing on the level design aspect. As level design was very new to me, so I started by doing things that I already know, such as coding. So I started by making the main movement for the player, some basic logic for the game such as the level manager, the starting and ending points of the level, some moving platforms, and these things were quite straightforward and quite easy. So as I was done with the basic stuff, I have a cube that I can run and I can jump, and I have platforms that could be moved. I have platforms that I could stand on. I have platforms in which I would go and I would die. I had an ending tile in which if I would jump, then the level would end and I would advance into the next level. And then comes the main part of designing levels. Although I have played many platformer games, but really I don't know how to create levels, so it was quite a tough task for me. So to start the level part, I threw up some squares, some rectangles into the Unity scene and tried creating some interesting level design I could from these things. And after some brainstorming and some moving things here and there, I finally created few levels. Some of them were quite easy, some of them were really hard, some of them were quite frustrating, and some of them were not fun. So as I looked into the level, I saw that I created mostly hard levels instead of easy ones. So I think it would be easier for me if I create a hardcore platformer game. Although I don't know if my levels are really hard or I am just bad at playing, but anyways. So after creating some more levels and some more tweaking stuffs, I thought that instead of using just random shapes and making a level out of it, I should use the tile map system, because that would be much easier for me to create levels. And then I created a tile map, a tile palette, a grid, and started sketching out some real levels. And oh boy, the grid system made the level designing process so much easier for me, and it felt like sketching things on paper, and it made the level designing process a bit easier, actually a whole lot easier. And due to this tile map and grid system, the levels were actually coming out very nicely, and I created two tile maps for my game. The one in which you can run and jump, and the one in which if you touch it then you would die and respawn. The starting levels were just run and jump, then I played with some moving platforms and it also made some quite interesting level design. And then when I was out of idea with the moving platforms, I added something new into the game, that is a missile throwing system. So there are two types of missiles in my game: a non-rotatory missile that would shoot missiles at a particular direction, and a rotating missile that would shoot in the direction of the player. So this made the level a bit challenging, because now the player not only has to jump on the right platform but needs to be fast also, because if he stops at one place then the missile would shoot him. And then I added another update to my game by adding some lasers. These were some stationary lasers, and in the level you would see them with the moving platforms, and if the platform comes in the way of you and the laser, then the laser can't reach you, and that's how you would pass these lasers. So these levels would require a bit of timing and a bit of accuracy, and add some another element to the game. And finally, when it feels like things were coming into place, I downloaded some real tile assets so that I could use them in the game. And with that tile asset, I also got some really cool characters, and I used one of the pick characters in my game as the main character, and used some of my own animations and some of the animations provided in the asset to create the final run and jump animation. The link to the asset would be in the description. It is free of cost, available in the Unity Asset Store. And then I painted all the levels from white tiles to 3 different cool tile assets, which was quite time consuming because there were different tiles for the middle, corner and the side portions. So it was a bit boring and tedious task, but yeah, I managed to do that. And finally, when everything was done, things looked like this, which looks quite cool to me and a bit challenging to play. Some of the levels gets a bit frustrating sometimes, but I'm happy that I took the challenge of creating 20 levels and actually finished creating 20 different levels with 3 different mechanisms and increasing difficulty. The game might look complete, but I have many things left to do, such as some optimization works and a bit of bug fixing, but very soon it would be available for you all to play. I'm very excited for this project because I've always liked playing platformer games, especially the hardcore ones like Super Meat Boy, Mad Dex, No Way Out, etc. And my game is heavily inspired from all these games. And this game is that type of game which I would actually like to play, and it would be quite pleasing to me to see others play this game very soon. So if you want to follow the progress of this game, then you can join my Discord server. The link would be in the description and in the comment section. Also, you can subscribe this channel and press the bell icon to get notified about other devlogs and other related game dev stuffs. Please tell me in the comment section what do you think about this game, and if you like this video or this game, give this video a thumbs up. Also, you can tell me if you have any suggestion or queries regarding this game. We'll see you in the next video. Till then, dream big, hustle hard, and keep watching The Techpreneurs. Bye.